Microsoft 365 Copilot, what 5.5 million work sessions reveal. Explain what new usage research says about how people actually use Microsoft 365 Copilot at work, where the workflow value is real, and what operators should copy instead of assuming AI adoption is just chat as search. The most useful new AI workflow lesson is not another launch event. It is fresh evidence from about 5.5 million real work sessions showing what people actually use enterprise AI for. That matters because workflow advice is full of hype. Usage data is harder to fake. And this new Microsoft 365 Copilot paper gives a much better picture of where AI is becoming real work infrastructure instead of just a fancy search box. Here is what the paper says. M365 Copilot is used every week by millions of people across more than 1 million companies. The authors analyzed approximately 5.5 million Copilot chat sessions. Writing is the biggest use case, which is not surprising. But the more important finding is that people also use it for information retrieval, analysis, decision-making and strategizing and evaluating and diagnosing programs and systems. In plain English, enterprise AI is not only drafting emails. It is starting to support judgment-heavy work too, at least in assisted form. The skeptical question is the right one: do these sessions prove value, or just activity? The paper does not prove ROI by itself. But it does show a directional shift away from chat as search and toward content and communication work. That is important because the easiest way to misunderstand AI adoption is to assume the killer use case is better answers. This research suggests the stronger story is faster work product, drafting, organizing, summarizing, and helping shape decisions in the flow of work. If you are building or buying AI workflow systems, start where the evidence is strongest. Structured, text-heavy, repeated tasks are still the safest bet. That can mean drafting, summarizing, meeting prep, internal research synthesis, or first-pass analysis. The February 2026 companion study reinforces that point by saying clearly structured, text-based tasks show the strongest perceived value. That does not mean harder agentic tasks never work. It means the adoption curve still favors task fit over futuristic ambition. There are important limits. This paper is usage evidence, not a profit and loss statement. It does not tell us exactly which session types save the most time or create the most value. It does not tell us where hallucination risk still kills adoption. And it does not prove that autonomous agents will inherit the same success pattern. So the honest takeaway is not AI is already solving work. The honest takeaway is that we now have a better map of where people are consistently trying to use it. This week, pick one repeated task that is structured, text-heavy, and easy to review. That might be meeting recap drafting, internal memo summarization, spreadsheet commentary, or first-pass research synthesis. Measure time saved and revision burden, not just whether the AI answer looks smart. If you like structured planning systems, Howard's Side Hustle Command Center is one example of packaging repeated planning and financial workflow steps into a reusable dashboard. Disclosure: that is Howard's ETSE product, and it is an educational tool, not financial advice. Howard's Side Hustle Command Center is a practical example of turning repeated planning and financial workflow steps into a structured dashboard asset with AI assistance. Disclosure: this is Howard's ETSE product. Educational tool only, not financial advice. My judgment is that this research does show enterprise AI becoming a work layer, but not in the way the loudest hype suggests. The durable edge still looks like structured assistance around writing, communication, synthesis, and early-stage analysis, not fully autonomous magic. So here is the question: if enterprise AI keeps moving beyond search, which workflow deserves automation first in your team: writing, analysis, decisions, or system diagnosis? Create a polished explainer video in explainer format using whiteboard style. Keep the narration practical, evidence first, and source backed. Use to-host energy if supported, a lead narrator plus a skeptical analyst who keeps asking whether usage volume equals real workflow value. Change visuals every 3 to 5 seconds using Office workflow boards, ranked use case cards, before versus after task maps, and one-task pilot checklists. Do not use fake realistic footage of a real company's documents, inboxes, or internal dashboards. 1 May 11, 2026 2. 5.5 million sessions 3. More than 1 million companies 4. Millions of weekly users 5. 2 source studies 6. Writing as the top use case 7. Information retrieval as a common use case 8. Analysis as a common use case 9. Decision making and strategizing as a common use case 10. Evaluating and diagnosing programs and systems as a common use case 11. Chat as search 12. Content and communication shift 13. Broad but uneven adoption 14. Structured text tasks 15. Role-specific training and governance 1. One-page summary 2. Links mentioned 3. Key terms explained 4. Practical examples 5. Watch list and risks not financial advice. Educational analysis only. #AI #Microsoft 365 #Copilot #Workflow AI